queen card. 1 Dawn. Attack with 8 cost out. Trigger. On top of my life. Queen card. Blockers. I'm twerking in the card shop. I am a queen card. Yamato, heal my queen card. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card.
Card D Kaizoku.
Oh, it's just my Patreon I just launched. If you like what I do and want to support me, toss a few bucks my way. Link in the description and on screen until someone subscribes to the tier and changes it. Okay, onto the video. It's Queen Week. Queen is the grindy leader that Black Yellow Big Mom wished she was in OP03. Let's just jump right into it. Starting off with the leader. Queen is a dual color blue-yellow leader with 5000 power and 4 starting life. His leader ability reads, Dawn times 1 when attacking. If the total number of cards in your life in hand is 4 or less, draw 1 card. If you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, you may place up to 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your life instead of drawing 1 card. This means Queen best fits a grindy, stall style of play. You want a way to perpetually stay at 4 total cards between your hand and your life and heal each turn while building up your board. Let's dive into the deck to see how we can achieve that. Starting by cost, we have 4 OP03 Kaya, one of the best blue 2k counters you can flex into any blue deck. She can help fix your hand for just 1 Dawn. 4 OP01 Doflamingo, a cheap blocker that can help you fix your next 5 draws. In the late game, you can even use Doflamingo to determine what you'll put on top of your life with your leader ability. 4 Starter Deck 3 Boa Hancock, a cheap blocker that can be played for free via trigger. 4 Starter Deck 7 Charlotte Brûlée, just the yellow version of Boa. 4 OP04 Pound, yet another cheap blocker, but Pound helps us against aggressive decks by letting us return a 3 cost or lower to your opponent's life area. Aggro is Queen's glaring weakness and Pound buys us some breathing room. 2 OP04 Charlotte Amande, just another 2k counter that can also help us rest chump blockers or trade into enemy weenies if needed. 4 OP04 Capone Bedge, now the best 2k counter in yellow. Bedge can be stacked into our life via 8 cost Katakuri or our leader ability. The trigger allowing you to just outright prevent anything from attacking can determine games. 4 OP04 Sanji, yet another 5k body they can play via trigger by discarding a card, but this one has blocker, allowing it to be one of the most flexible cards to trigger out of life. He can be both an attacker or blocker depending on whatever you need him for. 4 OP03 Soge King. Soge King both helps us stall the game by bouncing a 6 cost or lower back to hand, and he helps us fix our hand by letting us draw 2 cards and discard 2. He's perfect as you can play him the turn before you can start playing your 8 cost or 9 cost cards, helping you get some of them in hand guaranteed for the next turn. 4 OP03 Katakuri. You can use Katakuri in many ways. You can bottom life an opponent's character to delay their board building. You can top life your own character if you want to heal 1 life and get a second activation of a trigger. You may think healing the enemy doesn't sound like a good idea, but that brings us to our next card. 4 OP04 Yamato. Yamato can KO something on play with cost equal to or less than the total amount of life cards between you and your opponent. This is where 8 cost Katakuri can help you reach higher cost characters for Yamato to KO. Since we're not an aggro deck, we don't really care about how much life our opponent has. Once you grind an opponent down and start going for game, it won't really matter how much they have in life. Yamato also heals for 1 life when you're at 1 or less life, helping Queen get out of sticky situations. This means you can heal for 2 total life sometimes in the late game to save yourself. 2 OP01 Mihawk, just a reliable source of removal. Yamato's removal depends on life totals, but Mihawk can bottom deck a 7 cost, always. For events, we run 2 OP03 3000 Worlds. This is a great removal event that helps us stall the mid game until we can start playing our bigger characters. 4 OP04 Gum Gum Red Rock, the Lord King of removal events. Red Rock can bottom deck any card regardless of any cost or effects. This will remove any threat that Mihawk or Yamato may not be able to. For starting hands, it's just Doflamingo and 3000 Worlds you want to see, really. None of the important cards in the deck can be played until your 4th or 5th turn anyway. It's all a matter of stalling until then. Just make sure between Doflamingo and Soge King that you'll hit a couple big characters by the time you have enough Dawn to play them. So the strengths of the deck are strong removal. Between 3000 Worlds, Red Rock, Pound, 8 cost Katakuri, Yamato, and Mihawk, you'll have removal for any situation. Attack on Titan. Once you can stabilize and stay immortal in the late game, you fill your board with multiple 9k attackers which are both hard to remove and hard to defend against. Easy to pilot. Me have less than 8 Dawn, me play blocker. Me have more than 8 Dawn, me play big character. The weaknesses of the deck are dies to aggro. If you can't stabilize before your 8 or 9 Dawn turn, it's really hard for you to claw your way back with your leader ability. Decks that go wide are your biggest problem. Brick ability. Your late game staying power depends on a constant source of drawing your top end. There's no middle ground of, well, at least I can play this, as anything that isn't an 8 cost or higher character is just a chump blocker in your deck. Hard to master. Though the concept of the deck is very simple and easy to pilot, mastering the deck requires you to have to know how every other deck works, to decide which removal card is best against which leaders, at whichever particular stage in the game, so that you're not overcommitting or undercommitting resources. This separates the average queens with the Yas queens in the grind game. So that's the queen deck I've been running. The ratio of the big boys is flexible. I've seen some decks run 4 Mihawk over Yamato and etc, so experiment for yourself. I'll admit, it's fun to roleplay as Eren starting the rumbling on your opponent. Though I'm not looking forward to slow players taking every game to overtime with this deck, the power fantasy that this deck brings out of you feels great. The deck is really simple to play, so give it a try. Okay, bye.
Card D Kaizoku.